One? Only one? Two. Okay, two. That's it? Do you need to apply for a visa to get into Bulgaria? Hey?
Beforehand, you're asking?
For?
Beforehand.
Beforehand, exactly, yes. No. Okay. So I noticed that because I've been here for a week, or maybe 10 days already. So I noticed that a lot of people actually not on the same shoes with me. So a lot of you guys actually already have passport privilege without even knowing it. So then I switched my question to, how did I travel to 35 countries for free? Is it more interesting? Yeah, right? Yeah. So with my less privileged passport, I went to 35 countries for free, mostly, with a lot of ways, of course, because it's not, of course, it's not easy to get something for free. You need to work for it. So how did I do that? Before that, I want to explain about me first. My name is Olivia, as introduced already. I am originally from Brastagi. It's a small town in Sumatra, Indonesia. If you don't know, it's close to Malaysia, Singapore, so we kind of share the same food. It's a very beautiful place. There is a biggest volcanic lake in the world, like made out of volcanic crater 1,000 years ago. There's orangutan. There's a lot of pristine nature there. But I've been based in Bali for the past 7 years. I've visited almost 80 countries by now. I live in Australia the longest, 4 years. Colombia, all these countries, and of course I stay a lot in many places for a month as a nomad, or two, or few weeks, whatever. And I built this life without a passport privilege. So this is me when I was small. Still look the same. Next. So if you haven't heard, what is actually passport privilege? A lot of people, when they have privilege, they don't even understand that they actually have it. So here it's just to raise awareness. Passport privilege is that when you don't need to take a lot of administrative things when you use your passport. So you can go to more than 130 countries for free without applying for a visa. But for my passport, Indonesian passport, I only can go to 45 countries visa free, and 30 countries visa on arrival, and 3 countries online visa. So traveling for me is to prove that I'm capable, that I need to apply for a visa, waiting sometimes months, and hoping that the visa will be approved, and it's a complex, tedious, expensive process and time consuming. And mind you, visa is not free. It could be $50, €100, and sometimes if they reject that, the money is not returned back, so it's just lost. So why, maybe you see it a lot in the airport, right? I call it legal discrimination. That's true. So why did it happen? So because when you have passport privilege, it means you're usually from more developed countries, more powerful countries, and the money that you spend on tax to the government, they use it to invest on education, public support, public transport, human resources, facilities, etc. So there's less likely people from strong passport overstay their stay, for instance, or work for illegal job, for instance. So there's less suspicious of these people go to, although it happens sometimes because I live in Bali, people do illegal job too. But it's less likely that people will just misuse this tourist visa. And there's also socioeconomic disparity. People from strong passport usually have a strong economy, and perhaps their wages and salaries are higher. And also there's diplomatic relations and reciprocity. So people from strong passport usually they have more strong influence in international relations and strong diplomatic relations. So they can negotiate that their citizen can go to many countries for free. And the last is still colonial history and global power imbalance. So people, so let's say a lot of countries in Latin America can go to Europe without visa because they were used to be colony of Spain and Portugal, and so they were negotiated. They can visit the former colony can visit without visa. But not in my case with Indonesian visa. I still need to apply for second visa, and I need to prove a lot of documents. I need to show I have a 3 months financial, for instance, for my bank. I need to show that I have property, I have deposit, I have a family card, I have my ID card, I have a work, I have all kinds of things to show that I'm not gonna do something else. Even though, for instance, like these people are educated, they have money, sometimes it also get rejected for no particular reason. So it's not guaranteed when applying for visa is get accepted. Also, need to prove booking of hotels, need to prove like a return ticket. And when they accepted the visa, for instance, I request for 1 week, they just only give me 1 week. And then like no extension whatsoever. But after because I've been applying to too many times and never misuse my visa, so they give like longer visa time. So next, yeah. So with the Indonesian passport, there is this complexity of visa application that I mentioned, and risk of visa denial and border check. So even after accepting the visa, there's always like a lot of questions at the border. Like, hey, what do you do here? How long are you gonna stay? Where's accommodation? Can you show? Blah, 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 blah. So it's really like complex. So my husband here, with his Dutch visa, always like very, very fast in immigration. And when we travel together, he always notifies me on the airplane, babe, let's go early. Why? Because you're gonna get asked questions a lot and you're gonna queue a lot. So let's just go early to the front so that we don't need to wait long for the queue and our luggage. And it's always a trick for us to travel together. Yeah. And then there's also like barrier to international employment for sure. Like only people with maybe like very high skill in finance, for instance, or IT can get a job in like more developed countries. And higher cost of travel accommodation. Like it's very common for nomad, for instance, move from more like higher income country, Europe, US, Australia, Southeast Asia, which is lower income and lower living costs, for instance. So it's the opposite for me. It's more expensive for me, for sure. So this is, for example, the visa. I went to Moldova 3 weeks ago with and Moldova is the least visited countries in Europe. And even to Moldova, I need a visa and I pay 40 euro. And I applied for 3 days and they just like, yeah, you can only stay for 3 days. Anyway. So how do I start for traveling for free then? So my mom is very focused on study and I really want to make my mom happy. Growing up, I didn't really travel much. In fact, we didn't really travel. So how did I become interested in traveling? It's because I was born in the Sumatra, which is like a tourist town, and I see a lot of tourists coming. So I was curious, like, where's these people from? What do they do? So it sparks my interest to travel in the world. But because we don't really have means, and my mom just like interested on me studying, so I took international relations as my subject in my university so that I can be diplomat in travel. That was in my mind, but it didn't fit. But then, like, I also work part-time in international office where they do exchange between international students and domestic students. And from there, I get a lot of information like scholarship opportunities, and I listed it. I even like put it on my calendar, like not to miss the deadline. And to be honest, I get rejected so many times. I'm not the smartest. I'm okay, average. I'm not like high IQ whatsoever. I get rejected a lot. But the key is, when I get rejected, I didn't give up. But I learned how to convince through the application letter. So there's a trick to convince people, to convince the scholarship committee. So I learned, I keep trying, and finally I get the trick. I find the sweet spot how to convince the scholarship committee, and I just get addicted because it's so nice. You can travel the world, studying, get degree for free, and yeah, why not? I keep studying, and then I end up now having 4 master's degree without doing that. So I study in Philippines, Costa Rica, in US, in Australia, in Japan, all under full scholarship. So they fund my study and they fund my living costs, they fund everything. And I also did a lot of volunteer abroad and competitions, just because when I was studying, there's also a lot of opportunities for the students. So I went to Colombia, I went to Malaysia, I went to China and Vietnam. Those are under different sponsors. So we got funded from ASEAN Foundation, for instance, and from our school, and from the Brunei government. So different type of volunteer abroad that I thought, okay, I wanna travel, but I wanna make it meaningful. I wanna make it impactful. So not just like seeing things around, but how can I contribute my time and energy for something meaningful. So that's what I did. So I went volunteer abroad and did competition. This is just a few things, but I did a lot actually. And then I also went a lot of self-sustaining conference. One of it was the UNFCCC conference where I presented my project on how youth can tackle adaptation, climate change adaptation, and it like present along with the UNFCCC conference. And then I had also like project about how to reduce youth employment in Indonesia. And they sent us to a Global Government Summit where Obama was one of the speakers like 10 years ago or something. And then I also did a lot of like short-term work legally. I did research in Nepal about forest people, how when Nepali government give the ownership of the forest to local community, forest people, they were able to get the forest back with deforestation 35%. So I did research in the middle of Nepal, between the border of India and Nepal, and I was a woman, didn't speak any Nepali. It was really fun experience. And then I also teach Indonesian language in Australia to like a primary school. It was also fun to introduce my language, my culture to Australian kids. Yeah. And from there, I met a lot of people, especially Indonesian young women, asking, how did I travel so much? How can they do that? So I thought, actually, you can do it. There's a lot of ways. And I want to inspire other women, also young people, that they can do it. And that's the reason I wrote a book. It's published about how I traveled the world for free in Indonesian. It was published, and it was also on the TV show of my favorite host. And I was very happy about it that they chose my book to present in the TV show. And I started blogging, affiliate marketing, blah blah blah, and get income from that, just like a blogger. And after 30 countries for free, of course, you can't really keep things for free forever. So not free anymore. So then I decided, okay, I'm tired, like in Australia, I miss Indonesian food, I'm gonna go back. So I moved to Bali, and that's me in Bali, the very famous Clean King beach. You've seen it maybe on the desktop or whatever, it's very famous. So I made a career. I thought, okay, I got all this scholarship, like master's degree, what am I gonna do with it? I need to contribute to society, you know. So I decided I go back to Indonesia and work for NGO where I travel a lot to eastern Indonesia, helping smallholder farmers with the organic farming and helping them. And it was also fun because I don't really travel much inside of Indonesia, but with this job, I actually see more rural part of Indonesia that not exposed so much. It's so beautiful, so pristine. People are so nice, and I can see the disparity between like Jakarta or the capital and like the Eastern Indonesia, because we have 70,000 islands. It's really, really different, you know. So climb up corporate later, become senior manager, blah blah blah. But then I felt like something missing. Like there's something missing. I don't feel. I want growth. I want to see the world. I don't think I designed to be like in one place, sit still. I think I was meant to travel. So then I decided I wanna quit this thing. I wanna leave it behind. I asked my husband, okay, let's move to Costa Rica. So random. And so we moved to Costa Rica. While in Costa Rica, while doing zip lining, I came to a realization that maybe I just not meant to be working for someone else. This is just not my personality, you know. Like I just felt like I'm being controlled. Like it's just different people are different. Some people are okay thriving in corporate work, but not for me. I've always felt like I need to have my independence. So while doing zip lining, I came to realize, okay, let's just do my own thing, not working for other people. Even though my previous job was more like hybrid job, but like it's just I can't really travel as much as one. Okay, so after getting this scholarship and get the degree on sustainable business, I thought, now I get this degree. What am I going to do with this degree? If I study sustainable business, I should be able to make my own business, you know. And so we decided to go back to Indonesia, and I have this inspiration to make a house, a tiny house that I built in Bali, in Ubud. If you heard about Ubud, You know, like if you've been to Indonesia or Bali, there's a lot of like overdevelopment. It's not sustainable, the number of development in Indonesia. There's so many concrete now, we are losing all this rice field. So I thought, you know, you can actually make a business, but sustainable, making money, but still conscious of what you're doing. So I make this a tiny house with all the concept of biomimicry. If you heard about it, it's like how we can copy nature, ways complex nature to solve complex human problems. So I apply that in my design that for this house. So we have like passive building, energy efficient, we recycle water, everything from the house is locally made. So like reduce the carbon emission, etc. And then people really like the house, and even we got interviewed here and there, and even picked up by Business Insider. So we were like the top stories on Business Insiders. So I thought it's actually working now. Like we have a business that we're passionate about, and we're actually making money, and it's working if we are work business through our passions. And then while in Costa Rica, my husband was also like missing Bali, right out of Bali, and all of a sudden this is like least expected. We have a media company where every week I go to like beach club and like to hotels, review hotels, and we go to a fine dining. This is the least thing I expected, to end up having a media company sales agency, and within 2 years we were not serious. It's just a hobby, but it becomes like a kind of like one of my main income. So of course we have a lot of things that we try out in business, but you know, business is about trial and error. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. So we still have a lot of some ideas that we try out for our business, but it's okay because if we work on businesses based on our passions and our liking, we don't feel like we're wasting time. It's like more like a hobby or passion that we do. If it works out, it's fine. If it doesn't, it's also fine. So what you can take on from, so how I travel today. So we travel 8 months, we have a base. We travel 8 months based in Bali, so 8 months based in Bali and 4 months abroad, mostly Europe and Asia, visiting friends and family. And then I collect the visa. I have all kind of visa that, like my passport is really full. I have visa Schengen, US visa, Japan visa, Australia visa, Guatemala visa, like you name it, I have all kind of visa on my passport. We earn money to our active business, of course, semi-passive income. We also invested on like other things, property, P2P, stocks. I don't have crypto. I think you should invest on something that you already know. I don't know anything about crypto, so I don't invest on that. And we have a trustworthy team in Bali that we can trust on to run our business when we're not there. And we are living mortgage-free with multiple investment properties. How can you do that too? So you can use like all the opportunities that is out there, scholarship, volunteer, jobs abroad, networking to increase social capital, because the more people you know, the more flow information and the more things that you know that fit in with your interest. You can manage money. Earning money is different from managing money. It's a different kind of skill set. So you can manage money to buy freedom by diversifying your network and investment. And you can also build assets that earn with little supervisions, like our houses, for instance, and we ask someone based in Bali to help us as well. And that's our business that are aligned with your passions and have a market, because if it's aligned with your passion but not have a market, it's also a waste because no one's gonna buy. So takeaway, don't wait for a better passport. Treat the limitation as a decent challenge for your life. Focus on what you can control. I didn't ask God for me to be born in Indonesia. That's something I can't control. So I just control what I can, which is my skill, my income, my asset, my business, and live a meaningful and purposeful life, and start designing a life. And that's it. Thank you.